Thanks for joining our video today, and in this video we're going to be discussing how to choose a SIP carrier. And since there are hundreds and hundreds of SIP carriers, it can be a daunting task to sift through all the carriers and know which is the best one for you. We're going to explore which are the best options for your business. Okay, as we look at the development of telephones in the last century, we've gone from switchboard operators to the personal desk phone, and now IP phones that integrate with your office IP network. So the first step to do is to get a mindset that is much different than traditional telecom, and that is by understanding SIP trunking gives you far more diversity and redundancy than what telecom carriers could offer in the past. Some of the benefits of SIP trunking beyond the dramatic cost savings is the diversity it can give your organization, faster installation for new locations, less costly to have redundancy and disaster recovery in place. Also, anytime you need to move, add, or change services, it can be much easier to implement than traditional telecom services. Just one example of that would be if your company has a group of temporary employees who need to move to another office. Typically with traditional telecom, this required ordering new lines or circuits and perhaps an upgrade to the phone system at the other site. But with SIP trunking, if you have extra bandwidth capacity, you don't have to wait for all that. You can be up and running the same day. In choosing a SIP carrier, you want to determine, after looking at a carrier, if they are better suited to be your primary carrier for 100% of all your types of calls, or should you utilize more than one carrier? Most organizations may only have a few types of call traffic, but if your business is spread out throughout the country or the world, you will have fewer options for one carrier to handle all the different kinds of traffic, such as these listed here. Now, an example of splitting your call traffic with several carriers would be if you have an inbound contact center like this, which has mostly toll-free calls, that you just want a SIP toll-free provider, but you also have other locations throughout the world, and you have possibly remote branch offices, and you just need SIP trunks for local calls or SIP trunks for outbound long distance, nationwide, worldwide, and even phone number DIDs. So in that case, you might need multiple SIP carriers to handle all the various call traffic types in all the locations. So SIP trunking opens up your world to so many possibilities that traditional telecom made very costly. The next step in the process is to make sure the SIP carrier can integrate with your SIP PBX switch or SIP dialer you're using. This is called SIP interoperability. For the most part, this is usually not an issue with most carriers, but if there can be difficulties in the initial connection test phase, it's best to plan for this by having access to an experienced SIP tech support person who can diagnose and remedy SIP connections with the carrier. If you plan on using an open source technology such as Asterisk, there can be challenges if you aren't prepared for utilizing an expert in that area. Most carriers will only be able to do so much on their end, and the rest is up to your organization finding someone who is really versed in SIP trunking integration with whatever platform you do choose. Our company has helped clients with SIP carriers for several years, and we have tens of millions of minutes every month successfully on SIP trunking. But if you're new to SIP or just want to be 100% sure you're making the right choices and need help in the selection process, please contact us by email or our toll-free number here. Thanks for viewing our video.